Yeah, in the early to mid 80s, this is called the bench up on this hill, was burned, and it was also spaced and pruned.
The forest was thinned out in spring and fall to diminish the damage of wildfire in summer.
That's getting rid of forest fuels so that when a fire does happen in the summer, there's controllable spaces around the communities.
The key is to burn what's on the forest floor, not the roots underneath. Done right, the practice reduces fuel and enhances growth.
So the objective of today's burn is a traditional burn. This is under a prescribed burn plan.
In spring 2019, First Nations and the BC Wildfire Service worked together to conduct 3 cultural burns across the province.
It's as simple as having a match, really. And you don't need that much more.
The provincial government thinks differently. Its approval process for cultural burns is rigorous, with tight timelines, overlapping jurisdictions, and high costs. The Yunsatine First Nation has proposed a pilot project for outside Williams Lake.
They want heavy equipment on the site. They want big hoses. They want high-priced personnel on site. You almost have to develop a burn plan. And then when you develop a burn plan, you need to put it into the referral process. And it has to go through 5 different signatures to the provincial bureaucracy before you get approval and permit.
The practice of cultural burns is thousands of years old, but in the early 1900s, it became illegal to light a fire in the forest.
The probability of fires getting out of control from prescribed burning is very, very low. And so the risk of having, a catastrophic fire in peak fire season, so when it's really dry and hot, is much higher.
While there is increasing interest in cultural burning, First Nations and researchers say policymakers aren't moving fast enough. 3 years ago, there was a report to stakeholders, including government. It actually recommended prescribed burning as a way to get a handle on the recent increase in mega fires. But since then, nothing's happened, even though the province says it supports traditional burning. Researchers say barriers have to be removed to what's common in Australia, New Zealand, and some American states.
I think that there's also a real lack of understanding about what cultural burning actually is, how it's conducted, the techniques that are used, and when it's done.
With wildfire season starting sooner and lasting longer, it's a growing call to fight fire with fire. Belle Puri, CBC News, Vancouver.